chasing the next thing, the next job, the next opportunity, the next milestone, hoping that once we get there, life will finally make sense. But what if the thing that needs to change isn't the world around you? What if the thing that will truly change your life is your mindset? There is one mindset, just one, that separates those who constantly grow from those who stay stuck. It's the mindset of ownership. Ownership is not about controlling everything. It's about taking responsibility for your thoughts, your choices, your actions, and your outcomes. People with an ownership mindset don't say, this is just how I am. They say, this is who I'm becoming. Most people go through life reacting to situations, reacting to people, reacting to their environment. They believe life is happening to them, not for them. And when things go wrong, when the plan falls apart, when they don't get the job, when relationships break, the easiest thing to do is blame the economy. Blame the system, blame other people, blame timing. And for a while, blaming feels good. It lets you off the hook. It gives you something to point at. But it also robs you of your power. That's why the mindset of ownership is a game changer. Ownership means accepting that while you can't control everything that happens, you are always in control of how you respond. It means you stop outsourcing responsibility for your life. You stop waiting for others to save you, fix you, or motivate you. Instead, you start showing up, not just when it's convenient, but consistently and intentionally. The moment you take ownership is the moment you stop being a passenger and start being the driver. You begin to ask different questions. Instead of why is this happening to me, you ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of who's to blame, you ask, what could I have done differently? That shift alone unlocks a whole new level of growth. Ownership doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your responsibility. That's a powerful distinction. You're not responsible for the things others did to you, but you are responsible for how long you let those things control your life. You're not responsible for every setback, but you are responsible for how you choose to respond, rebuild, and rise. The people who thrive, who grow, who lead, who inspire are the ones who've decided that no matter what life throws at them, they won't stay down. They don't see failure as the end. They see it as data, as feedback, as the necessary price of becoming stronger. And instead of complaining about how hard the journey is, they keep walking. Because they know that the more they take ownership, the more control they gain over their future. When you embrace this mindset, you stop waiting for motivation. You stop needing permission. You stop relying on perfect circumstances. You understand that discipline builds momentum and that progress builds confidence. You understand that no one is coming to rescue you, and that's not something to be afraid of. That's something to be excited about. Because if no one is coming, then it's on you. And if it's on you, then you're free. Ownership frees you from excuses. It frees you from blame. And it frees you from the limits you placed on yourself when you believed you were powerless. With ownership, even your greatest weaknesses become fuel for growth. Even your worst days become teachers, and even your mistakes become building blocks for a stronger foundation. It's not always easy. Taking ownership means holding yourself accountable when no one else does. It means choosing growth over comfort. But if you want a life of meaning, if you want real change, if you want to become the kind of person others can count on, it starts here. Because ownership isn't just a mindset, it's a decision, a daily decision to stop waiting and start becoming. And once you make that decision, your life will never be the same again. Every day, people wait. They wait for the right moment. They wait for inspiration to strike. They wait for someone to notice them, for circumstances to improve, for fear to disappear. They wait for clarity, for motivation, for validation. And while they wait, life moves on. Opportunities pass, dreams fade, days turn into weeks, then months, and sometimes even years. The truth is, the perfect moment never comes, and the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. This is why you must stop waiting and start creating. Creating isn't just about art or business. It's about building your life. It's about designing the future you want, instead of hoping it magically shows up. It's about understanding that nothing changes until you do, that no one is going to hand you the confidence, the discipline, or the results you're looking for. You have to create them from scratch, from effort, from consistency. The problem with waiting is that it puts the power outside of you. It makes your success dependent on something you can't control, timing, other people's opinions, external conditions. But when you shift to a creator mindset, everything changes. You realize you already have everything you need to begin. Maybe you're not fully ready. Maybe you're not the most skilled, but you are willing, and willingness is where all progress begins. When you stop waiting, you give yourself permission to try, to learn, to fail forward. You understand that the path won't be perfect, and that's okay. Perfection isn't the goal, movement is, creation is messy. You won't have all the answers, but action brings clarity. Every step forward reveals the next step. You learn by doing, not by sitting still. People often say they're waiting for motivation, but motivation is a result, not a requirement. It comes after action, not before. When you start creating, when you make even small progress, motivation begins to show up. Confidence grows, not from wishing, but from working. The more you create, the more you believe in your ability to keep going. And what you create doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to be yours. Create routines, create habits, create boundaries, create a version of yourself you're proud of. Don't wait for someone to give you a chance. Create your own opportunities. Don't wait to feel ready. Start where you are, because if you're always waiting to feel ready, you'll never move. But if you start creating, readiness will catch up. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is this: you are not stuck because of your circumstances. You are stuck because of your mindset. And once you decide that action matters more than comfort, that momentum matters more than perfection, everything begins to shift. You begin to trust yourself again. You stop looking for someone to rescue you. You become your own source of energy and direction. There is no shortcut, no secret hack, no external force that will do it for you. The only way out is through discipline, through repetition, through courage. The life you want isn't waiting to be found. It's waiting to be created. So build it. One action at a time, one choice at a time, one day at a time. Stop waiting, start creating. Your future is not something you arrive at, it's something you build, brick by brick, thought by thought, decision by decision. And the sooner you begin, the sooner your reality begins to change. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't just appear one day wrapped in convenience or comfort. Growth is intentional. And the foundation of real lasting growth is accountability. Without accountability, progress is inconsistent, results are temporary, and lessons are often missed. Accountability is what transforms knowledge into action, and action into transformation. At its core, accountability is about owning your role in your own development. It's the decision to stop blaming others or external conditions for where you are, and to start asking yourself the tough questions. What did I do to get here? What can I do differently? What's within my control, even if everything else isn't? It's easy to want change. It's harder to admit that change begins with you. Most people want growth as long as it doesn't require discomfort, as long as it doesn't mean holding up a mirror to their habits, decisions, and patterns. But growth and comfort cannot coexist. When you avoid accountability, you avoid growth. You might feel good temporarily, but you stay stuck. You repeat the same behaviors. You make the same excuses. You point fingers at the world, forgetting that the power to evolve is always within you. Accountability requires humility. It takes humility to admit when you're wrong. It takes strength to say, I could have done better. I didn't show up fully. I let fear or laziness win today. That's not weakness. That's the birthplace of growth. Because you cannot improve what accountable, things shift. You start paying closer attention to your actions. You become more intentional with your time, more conscious of